Okay, so let's talk about 5 reasons to watch She-Hulk and 5 reasons not to watch She-Hulk. Of course, She-Hulk, as you may or may not know, is the newest Marvel series on Disney Plus. Sorry, I don't know why I was blanking on Disney Plus. Um, it's a show that it sort of follows. I don't know what would you call it? It's it's like a spin. It's like a secondary character to the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, and the show overall is designed like a 30-minute sitcom. So we're just gonna dive into reasons why we think the show is worth watching and the
Wait,
reasons why
it's
the
supposed
show
to be it's supposed to be funny?
it's supposed to be funny, fourth wall breaking funny, like her character's similar to Deadpool in the comics. So oh, look at that. You're already diving into the reasons not to watch. Let's start with the reasons to watch. So,
Okay.
here's the first reason. The first reason to watch the show, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. He's back. I mean, he's been front and center in the marketing, in his
I
professional
don't
Hulk
think that's a
form.
reason to like it.
I, I think it's, great actor. He's one of the OGs of the MCU. Looking forward to seeing him back. Catriona, I know you were excited about Tim Roth because you didn't even know
Oh
he was coming
yeah.
back.
Yeah, I love
So,
that guy. I don't think
Bob,
I'll watch it anyway, but I just want to throw out there that I like Tim Roth.
yeah. Well, we got him back, and then we have seen this is from straight from the trailer. This image here, Charlie Cox's Daredevil is here in this show. I don't know if he's gonna make a cameo, if he's got an extensive role to play, whatever. It looks
Well,
like his costume is.
if they're going to be lawyers, I'm sure they're going to be adversaries in court or something,
Mm, that's probably
which
it.
is corny.
Yeah.
Adversaries in
Um,
Corny.
court and on the streets.
it's the costume looks a little different. You got a little more of the comic accurate yellow tied into the red. So they've kind of changed that up a little bit. I'm sure they'll explain what the reason is. I don't even know if he's the same Daredevil as what we saw in the Netflix show. Um, anyway, moving on. Reason number 4, Benedict Wong will be in the show. We've seen him in the trailer. There's this really funny clip where he's like,
This
we
is all
follow
one
the.
reason. This is
Huh?
all what I gotta stop you. This is all one reason, and that's that it ties in with the MCU.
Basically,
And I don't
there's
care.
this is going somewhere. Just to stick with me here. You're
I hope
clearly
so.
noticing a pattern here. But Tatiana Maslany's She-Hulk, of course. I mean, Tatiana Maslany as an actor, or Maslany, however you want to pronounce her name, she is a fantastic actress. Orphan Black, she's done a number of other things. This, although, even though she's been around for a long time, I think this show has the potential to be her breakout role. And despite the fact that maybe some of the trailers are not, drawing everybody's attention quite the same way that maybe Moon Knight did, I think, she will probably be maybe the best reason to watch the show. What I'm worried about though is reasons number 1 to 4, which, I think those are good reasons to watch the show. But let me put it to you guys. Clearly, of the 5 reasons to watch the show, 4 of them have something, but not so much to do directly with the main character of the show, She-Hulk. So before I contradict myself, just tell me which reason it stands out to you. Why would you want to watch the show out of those 5 reasons?
You want
Tim
to take this
Roth,
one?
really. I
Okay.
mean, I heard about this a while ago, and I was never really, I don't care about Hulk. I don't care about She-Hulk, so there's that going for me. But I like Tim Roth. I might tune in on his episodes. He's not gonna be in the whole thing, right?
I don't know. I mean, okay, so in the trailer they say that she's hired by a new government agency that's set up, and she's hired as the attorney to represent Tim Roth's Abomination in some kind of a case of some kind. So maybe he's part of like a few episodes. Okay, so we're gonna go over this next, but this has got 9 episodes, and they're not gonna be terribly long. So I'd imagine he was probably making like an extensive cameo, if anything. He made that cameo.
Damn it.
Well, I don't think it was him. There was just the animated version of the Abomination character in Shang-Chi, so we saw him there.
Can't he just have his own show? Like,
I
come on.
maybe maybe this is a backdoor pilot to giving him his own. I don't know.
No, I don't
Maybe he's
think
gonna be
so.
part of the Thunderbolts movie. Who knows?
You know, you know
I'm gonna
what?
try to.
You know what would be exciting for me? They're not going to do this. Get Saul Goodman on there. Then I'd be happy.
I'm gonna
But
try to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm just gonna throw it out there and say that maybe our lowered expectations will end up surprising us in the end, and this could end up being a great show. You
yes,
know,
one
it's
one
something.
Yeah.
one great strategy for enjoying all the content coming out is to lower your
Your
standards.
Pretty
expectations.
much. I mean,
I
I made
think
up this quote the other day. It was like, when you never try, you're never disappointed or something. I don't know what I said.
Words to
A
live by.
great, yeah, exactly. When you don't try, you're never
I've heard something like that before. Anyway, all right. So I think we've hit this one on the mark for the most part. I personally, for one, am cautiously optimistic. So I'll leave it at that for now. Let's talk about reasons not to watch.
disappointed.
I mean, imagine if the reactions to your reasons to watch, like,
We,
I can't imagine what you have to say about
here's what
reasons
I'm
not to watch.
thinking. I feel like you're gonna come up with 5 reasons not to watch it, and I'm gonna be like, "There's more," you know. But let's find out.
All right. Okay. So reason number one for not watching She-Hulk would be, and you might think this is a reason to watch because, hey, look,
I
they got
actually
nine
think this is
episodes.
a reason to watch
Yeah,
it.
I think
It
this
is
is
It's
like
like
the one. Yeah.
that's the big
okay.
problem is that like so many of these Marvel things are just impossible to digest.
Hmm.
I miss sitcom length stuff. Show me
Well,
sitcoms again.
so this is like WandaVision. WandaVision ran like 30-minute long episodes, give or take a few minutes, and it was set up like a sitcom. And this one, I believe the runtimes are like 32 minutes, 34 minutes, 29. Those numbers include credits. So basically the episode itself is probably 20, 25 or 20 to 22 minutes. And then you got credits. But to me, like this is a negative because that means even though they're giving us 9 episodes, we may be like left asking for more or saying there's not enough time to
I
develop
can't
all the
imagine that.
characters and pay off the stories they're setting up. Anyway, moving on. So, reason number two not to watch She-Hulk is the recent record of the MCU on Disney Plus. We have seen shows like Loki, we have seen shows like Moon Knight, even for me like WandaVision, they all failed to stick the landing. Like they had some good things going, but then the last episode or last 2 episodes, usually the penultimate episode is good. But the last episode, for some reason, they leave
Hmm.
themselves too much ground to cover, and then they don't have enough runtime to do that. So that's been my issue. Miss Marvel for me has been the only show that stuck the landing. So I'm hoping that She-Hulk does it, but I'm not optimistic about that. Now, let's talk about reason number three, everybody's super problem. We'll go over this in a bit more, I'm sure, but we have talked about this in the past. The fact that in the MCU now, seemingly almost everybody you run into has superpowers. And
Yep.
so, like that, I keep forgetting his name from The Incredibles, the villain in the first
Doctor
Incredibles
Doom.
movie,
Oh, sorry. The Incredibles, not the Fantastic Four.
The Incredibles,
Cyclone.
Cyclone. He was like, when everybody's super,
Syndrome.
nobody.
Sorry.
What?
His name's Syndrome, not Cyclone.
Syndrome,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
When he's laying out his evil plan to Mr. Incredible, he's like, when everybody's super, nobody will be. And
Nobody
I'm
is.
like,
Yeah.
boom, that's the MCU's problem right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the novelty is gone. Now, the annoyingly bad CGI is what I put down as reason number four, because I look at it and, well, you can see this character has to be almost entirely animated when she's in her Hulk form. And that for a movie is hard enough, no less on a TV show, and the timelines on which an MCU projects run. We have heard reports recently that VFX artists are running to the ground with it. The first trailer came out and people were like, "This CGI looks terrible." They improved upon it with the next trailer, but I'm worried that the consistency won't be there from episode to episode. Much like in Moon Knight, some of the CGI was great, and then
Or
some of the CGI was
cats.
terrible. Yeah. Anyway. Reason number five, the last one. This kind of ties into the 4 out of the 5 reasons to watch the show, which is, well, of the 5 reasons we pointed out, 4 of them were not Jen Walters / She-Hulk. There were other characters that are like MCU adjacent, but not, maybe you wouldn't say they're, they will probably have cameos, but they won't be playing central roles in the show. So Jen Walters could get overshadowed in her own show, not only by Wong and Daredevil and Abomination, but the Hulk himself, right? Even the trailers, I feel like a lot of people are interested in the show simply because they want to see Mark Ruffalo's Hulk do something else in the MCU. So, of all these reasons to not watch the show, which of those stick out to you? Catriona, I'll start with you.
Not to watch.
Not to watch. Oh, the reasons that I just went over, which of those stick out to
Yeah,
you the
yeah, yeah.
most?
Sorry, now I kind of got to go back and think about them again. Andrew,
Me?
just do it. Just do it, and
Oh,
I'll.
I
While I
gotta,
think, I gotta think about this.
none of those reasons particularly. I it's the concept of a pissed off woman, rampaging through the streets. I've seen enough of that in my life. I don't need to see that on TV. I'm just not interested. Period.
Do you like regular Hulk? You like seeing
Not
a dude
particularly.
stomp around in the streets?
Not really.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I've just never been.
You
I'm
know,
not. I don't know anything about She-Hulk. Maybe
unless
if I see it,
unless
I'll
it's
like it.
yeah, if it's a sitcom and they're really going for laughs, if they really nail the comedy, maybe. That would do it for me. I'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, it's funny that she's, you know, destroying the city or something, or like just like getting angry. If you're poking fun at that, I doubt that's what they're doing. Um,
Are we getting like canned laughter? That'd be kind of
that'd be
fun to
oh
see.
sure, yeah. You know
And then
what?
when
Again,
certain characters come in, they're all like, "Woo!"
we should watch it, and then if it doesn't measure up, we should do our own edit with little laugh tracks where it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I wouldn't mind doing that. I mean, I'm so this thing, we've talked about this. It's a show that it feels crowded. That's the one way to put it for me. This is 9 episodes. They're sitcom sized, and we don't have any reviews up for it yet because it doesn't look like anybody got advanced screenings of it, which maybe it implies something good. I don't know. Maybe there's some surprises hidden in the show, but the idea that you have all these characters, I mean, I'm worried that with so little runtime, they're not going to have enough time to flesh out her character and no less introduce all the other things that they're trying to do. Because this is meant to clearly tie into like a number of other projects that are ongoing in the MCU.
Yeah.
I think there's meant to be like a Secret Invasion tie into this, which is another MCU series that Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury is going to be a part of. And I think their Skrulls might show up. They've already made hints of that within the within the trailers. I'm excited, and then if you watch the latest trailer, it showed the reason why, or the origin of how she gets her powers. Jen Walters gets her powers, but just they keep it fairly comic accurate. But the surprising part is there's like a ship that just pops up in front of them, and they're driving on the road, and then it veers them off, and down the cliff they go. But the ship looks basically the same as the ship that the Grandmaster used in Thor Ragnarok, which
Mm.
means of all the cameos we have already talked about, the biggest one that we haven't talked about, which they might have hinted at with that little shot in the trailer, is Jeff Goldblum's Grandmaster might be in the show too, because he wants his champion back, which is the Hulk. Like that's where we find him in Ragnarok. So
This is
Right.
this is their strategy,
it,
just more cameos, more actors, more superheroes. Uh,
and
it
that's my
sounds
concern. You can imagine looking at this and I'm like, you're giving 9 episodes versus 6, which has been the norm for a while for these shows. I mean, WandaVision had 9 episodes,
yeah.
and well, I was gonna say, well, Daredevil's gonna get 18 episodes, but that's like a couple of years out. Whatever. The point I'm trying to make is, I don't think that's enough of a runtime. I think we need more
I
time with
I
the
really
character.
Well, when it's
I
a show
got
about a woman, who needs to see more than 20-minute episodes, huh?
Oh, that's not fair.
I'm just kidding.
um when I completely lost track of what I was gonna say. That just made me laugh. Um, it, I'm literally drawing a blank
This
here.
is Catriona taking revenge for the rundown.
I suppose so.
Yeah,
Look at that. Yeah,
we're gonna talk about a blue shirt.
here's what I was gonna
Oh.
say. Please don't bring up the blue shirt again. I gray shirt.
It's not me.
I
It's not. It's the people watching.
I'm gonna push back on the runtime being a problem. I really think that there's a problem with effective communication in TV right now. And the sitcom had to be 30 minutes. It had to be tight. You had to hold people's attention. You had to be able to, like, if commercials were, running in between the segments of the show, you had to be able to pick up in the middle of the show and understand without having seen the first act, what was going to happen in Act 2 and Act 3. And I think that, creativity thrives in constraints. And the more constraints we put on these people, the more creative and the more innovative they will be, the better the storytelling will be. I think a big problem with the MCU is they have no constraints. They got all the money in the world, all the best actors if they want them. Disney's backing them and saying, we're going to do whatever you want. They can do other shows. They can do bonus content. There's literally no restraint on them. This is the type of thing that leads to good innovation. And it'll probably make it a better show.
That's fair. I mean, I thought it worked in the favor of WandaVision up until the final episode when they decided, well, F all that. This needs to have a MCU big action set piece ending to it, which the rest of the show completely did not warrant, and that's what threw me off. So I'm hoping, if it sticks to that kind of a trajectory, that the final episode doesn't end up screwing everything over that they'd built up until then. And that's my concern, that they'll get the first eight episodes for the most part right. We'll have there'll be ups and downs, but then the last episode will leave a bad taste in your mouth, and that's why I'm hesitant. Like, I'm thinking about doing weekly reviews of this show, but honestly, I'm gonna wait until I've watched the first episode and I'm really sure that I want to do that, put myself through all that work, because it is a lot of work to talk about a show like this on a week-to-week basis. But
yeah,
and it has to be worth it. I mean, this show has to be good, and I think the MCU needs one of those. Miss Marvel was good, but it underperformed in viewing numbers. This show probably will get more viewers, but it needs to be good.
We'll see. We'll see how they pull it off. We'll see if it's worth doing week-to-week reviews, and if not, you'll come back and you'll probably hear what we have to say about the whole season, and we'll see if they pull it off. I hope they do. I for all of the criticism I give to the MCU, I really just want it to succeed. I would like for everything to be of fantastic quality. And that's why I'm so hard on everything. Anyway, be our friend, be our subscriber, be the woman of my dreams if you're out there. I don't know. But somebody stop me. Join our movie fan community. Subscribe, follow us on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch. We're expanding in this internet world. We're getting bigger and bigger every day, and we enjoy it when you are part of that. Okay,